Hey, thanks for dropping by Can't Let Her Die DIY. If you found this video, you found this channel, you must be having problems with your windows, your power windows on your vehicle, are you? Are they causing you problems? Are they going up slowly, or is it catching, going up crooked, or not going down? Sometimes they can be stuck down, or they can go down easily and not go up. All kinds of issues. Sometimes they don't even work. And then often if you take the button, you pull up on the button and you just tap the arm of the door where that motor is located, that impact on the door is enough to jar that, to get that moving. Is that some of your problems that you got? Maybe it's grabbing on the rubber channels and pulling that window off the tracks. That's another problem. You get all those problems, and that's what we call window pane. Well, we're going to solve them here today. We can't let these vehicles die. This is a 2005 Chevy Colorado. I love this truck. 17 years old, 421,000 kilometers. We're not going to let the windows take us out. Something will get us eventually, but it isn't going to be the windows. It's not going to happen today. And we know how to control the paint on this. We're going to go into that door, tear the door down, show you all the common problems and the maintenance issues and how to fix each and every issue. We can fix the regulator, we can fix the motor, we can fix the tracks, we're going to do some lubrication, we're going to do lots of maintenance. This is going to be great. This is not hard. You got this, you do. You want to see the tools you're going to need? It's only a few tools. You've got these. Check it out. I laid them out here for you. Here are some of the tools you're going to need. This is a 3/8 drive, ratcheting drive with an extender right there. You'll need a 10mm socket, and that's it. Just a Phillips screwdriver, and then there's a few products that I use in the video. This is a Terminator. It's dielectric spray. This is very important. This is clean flow, clean slip. It's really silicone greaseless lubricant. Can you see that? And it is used for, it goes on, it's a dry lubricant. It's really good for glass. For in the channels there, that's really important. And I'm going to leave some links to these products or equivalent products that I think are good in the description, so you can check that out. This is just glass cleaner, and you don't need to buy glass cleaner. You can make up your own solution of 50% vinegar, 50% water. That's what I think this actually is. I just used the original container because it's a good spray container, and then you just need some newspaper. Newspaper is the best for cleaning glass. That's it. Okay, come take a look at the passenger side door window on the Chevy Colorado. I just wanted to point out this sticker right here. If you look at this, after 10 to 12 years, this, on my truck, this started to get very tacky to the touch, very sticky. It was breaking down and the adhesion was coming through on this side, and every time I rode, I pushed down the window. Every time I went down on the window, when this got down to the rubber part right here, it would grip onto this rubber part. That's how sticky that was, and would fold that rubber inside and pull it down. Now it worked fine. It would go down and up, but it was a big drag on the window, on the motor, on the regulator, and we'll look at all those parts inside here. But it was a big drag on that, and over time, that will damage, that will pull the window off the regulator inside. So you got to watch out for that. Now to fix that, all you got to do when that starts to get tacky, just get soap and water and just clean it up. Wash off that adhesion. Number two, the most important thing you can do to keep your windows maintained and good working order is just to lubricate it. Right? But what lubrication do you use? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. You want to use silicone greaseless lubricant. Now this is a silicone grease, and it goes on as a powder. When it dries, it's a powder, and it's a lubricant powder. So it's really good for windows. It's not going to smear on your windows. It's not going to freeze up in the winter because it's not a liquid. It's already a solid. It's a powder. It's a grease lubricant powder. Silicone. It says silicone greaseless lubricant by Clean Flow. Now, it doesn't matter who the manufacturer is, it's the chemical that we're interested in here. There's lots of products that put this out. I'll put a link in the description. You want to drop down, you'll see it there. Now what you do is you just spray this in the channel here, in between the two rubber pieces that hold the window. Because over time, grime and grit and dust gets in there and it becomes gummy, especially if somebody has put some grease in there. You do not want wet grease in there. And over on this side as well, I don't know if you can see that. Zoom right in into that channel. So we're not trying to get it on the glass that's inside the door here, but we just want it on the very edge of that channel so it provides some lubrication when it goes up and down. And that will save your windows for a long time. That will really help you out. And you only have to do it like once a year, maybe not even that. So one can will last you forever. Anyway, once you get that, you can cycle it up and down. And you should notice right away that your window starts to work better right away. So that's the first thing. If your window hasn't totally come off the tracks yet, it's just acting strange, it's going slow, try a little lubrication like that. That may be the only thing you have to do. Okay, if you want to zoom in here, you can see my window? It doesn't quite go up straight. Look, check this out. See that? See that little gap forming? And then it goes over like that. One more time. See that? See that little? And then it goes up. So the window's working pretty good, like 98%. That's only a little thing. But since I'm doing a video, we'll see what's going on with that. I think one of the clips at the bottom of the window where it attaches to the regulator, there's two clips. One of them is kind of giving way a little bit. So we're going to see what's going on with that. If that's your issue, you can watch me get in there and try to figure that out. If you have a bad motor, if your window's not moving at all, no reaction to the switches, you may have a bad motor. You may have to replace the motor. If your regulator may be messed up, if it got bent or anything, if it's coming off, if it's going up crooked, you may also have some issues. So we're going to get inside the door. We're going to figure that out. I'll show you how to take this panel off and we'll get at it. So let's go. Let's do it. We'll see what's going on with mine and we'll see. Hopefully we'll figure out what's going on with yours. So with your Phillips screwdriver, come on in here. Take a look. Right in the handle you'll see two screws. One there, one there. And that's what's holding this panel on, this door panel. So if we remove those, like that, and this one, we should be able to get that switch off. So that just slides out like this, and there it is. Okay, we got two screws are loose. Don't lose your screws, there they are. Put those in a safe spot, and on this side, now this is just like the driver's side. If you're doing a driver's side door, there's more switches, and if you flip it over, there's more plugs. There's 3 plugs on that side. There's 1 plug over here, and there's a tab right there. You can get with your fingernail, push in the tab, and pull it. There's the tab right there. You want to zoom in on that? You see that action? When I push that in, it releases. Now on the driver's side, there's 3 plugs. Each plug is a different shape. You don't have to keep track of which plug goes where, because you cannot install that incorrectly. The plugs only fit in the proper spot, so that's a good thing. That's the switch. If there's something wrong with the switch, we could take this apart here, take these screws off, get in there, pop that, and look at the circuit board in there and work on those switches. But we're not doing that today. So we'll put that in a safe spot. Now we got to get this off. So with your Phillips screwdriver, there is a screw in here. You see that one right there? It comes off. Same size screw as the other two. And that goes on the floor like that. This little piece comes off. Snaps off. See, there's a little snaps right there, 3 of them. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do this. Okay, next we got to take this little triangular plastic piece off the door right here. And this is pretty good. It just snaps off like that. And a little tab that goes down in through there like this. So one little push pin goes right in there that snaps that on. Pretty easy. So far so good. Now this is the power mirrors. I got it with my thumb. See that? If you push down on that, that should come right off. There it is. So there's the action right there. You push down on that, and that plug comes off there for the power mirrors. So that is everything on this panel. Now we have push pins. We have a couple push pins here, down along the bottom, up in here. They're exactly the same ones. They're just like that. Those are all on the inside of this, and they just pull out. So we can just pull this panel right off. Gotta love it. Let's pull it right off here, folks. We'll start over here maybe. Start down here. Pull her right off. Pull her off at the bottom. Yes. And then you have to lift up because it tucks in along the top here. Pull up like that. And there you have your panel off. We're getting there. Exciting. So we got a wire that's still connected here. Right there. So the same plug, you push in on the tab and pull. Some are stiff, some come easy. Some have a little fight to them. Push in and straight up. So that's it. What I was doing was pushing in on that with my thumb and then pulling straight up. So that is your speaker wire. That's what that is. That little tweeter right there. The speaker stays with this panel. See? That's why that is put. The other speaker down here stays on the door right here. The woofer. A little dusty. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. And that's how easy it is to get your panel off. Now we can see what's going on with your window. Let's check it out. You got this. Let me introduce you to the inside of your door. Here it is. This is a plastic water shield, and it's stuck all the way around to prevent any, it's supposed to be stuck, to prevent any moisture from getting in there. So what we need to do is take this off. Now this, you can take this off and it'll stick right back on again. It maintains its stickability or adhesiveness, and it's a strong plastic piece. It's quite thick, so you're not going to tear it. It's got a lot of strength. Now see that little bit? That's for glue and that. You want to make sure these wires, these cables, are secured with that adhesiveness, because that can click. If it's not, if that's loose, and every time you open and shut your door, you get that little sound. So that's what that little piece is there for, to glue those, to immobilize those so they don't make a sound. So let's tear this down. Not tear it, but we'll just pull it away from its adhesion on the door. Get it down there. And we can leave the bottom attached like that. There! Now we're getting there. There's the window. There is the regulator. And now we can reattach the switch and operate the switch and manipulate that window in any position we want so that we can get at the bolts. So it's all the way down. We need to get it up a little bit so that it lines up right here. See this hole right here? If we pull the window up a little bit, we'll be able to access one of the pins that's holding that glass piece in right there. So we need to lift it up probably 3 inches. So to do that, we take our switch, plug this baby back on. There's only one way it can go on. It has to go on that way. Right. We'll turn the key on and we'll do that until C-rated. So we got a good right there. Now I'll undo this. So when you get the window that position, that's what you need. And man, that plug is good and stiff. So now if you look down in there, we're going to attack those bolts next. Okay, so now we're going to remove the glass from the regulator. The bottom of the glass is attached to the regulator in 2 spots, one there and one over here. I already pointed out. So right here is a 10mm bolt. We're going to attack that 10mm bolt right now. So it's on there. Take a mental note of how tight that was. So when you're putting it back on, you can duplicate the tightness. And these bolts are important for pulling the window down when the window's stuck with frost and ice and snow, or it grabs onto the glass and pulls it down. So if you have a problem with the downward motion of your glass, of your window, it may be one of these pins. Don't lose the bolt inside the door, 10mm. So we should be able to manipulate this piece of glass right out of there. It should come up. I think we gotta tilt this a little bit like that. And pull that out gently, patiently, without breaking it. Man, I'm tearing my whole door apart and there's nothing wrong with it, really. There's the bottom of your glass. There's the shape of it. There's the 2 pins. That's how it attaches to the regulator. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. You got this. This is not hard. Taking bolts off, putting bolts back on. Now some of you guys and gals may have a defective regulator. This is the regulator. It's sort of like a scissors action, and it folds down and folds up, pushing the window. So you may have to purchase a new one of these or straighten it out, or at least check it out. So let's take it off and check it out. Now it's being held on by this 10mm, 10mm, and these 4 hold the motor and the regulator. So let's take them off. you have to remember how this looks, how this goes back on. So remember, this came flopping down like that, but it goes on like this, right? That can slide this way on the regulator because that would line up with that hole, and this one would line up with that hole. Let me introduce you to your regulator. Motor. And it is plugged in right here with my left hand. Right here, there's a plug. It's got, looks like it has a tab right there. Push that tab, and that goes to the motor on your window motor on your regulator. There it is. So when you purchase a regulator for your window with the motor attached, there's the motor. That's what you get. So that would crank it on these sprockets. That would go up. Crank that right up like that. Pretty cool. Like this, in this position. And then this whole arm swings up and this stays perpendicular this way, and it raises your window and lowers your window. Pretty cool, isn't it? Check this out. There's your steel impact beam for side-on collisions, so that door doesn't crumple up as easily. Little impact resistance. You can see there's a little coating of oil on the inside of that door. That's good. And it looks pretty good in there, doesn't it? I'll look down in there. I don't see any rust. I see dirt. I see a piece of paper, sticker, off of something. But now I will coat that with, I'll give that a little spray of dielectric grease. It's a fine spray, and it's good for electrical components. You can see it has it in there. Looks like a lot of beach sand. Look at that. You can tell I go to the beach. That's a gray, white sand from the beach. And it can be quite windy there, so the wind will blow that right in and the sand gets down in there. Pretty cool. Terminator. Dielectric spray, corrosion protection. This is really good for electrical components and everything. It's a light dielectric spray. It wears off easily, but anytime you're inside one of these cavities, it's really good to give it a good spray. And this will keep your vehicle lasting for decades, like mine. So get this everywhere, and it's good we don't have the glass in there, so we don't have to worry about getting it all on the glass. The glass never touches these metal components, and it's good for the wires, it's good for everything. Right? Don't spray it in the channel there, because we got dry silicone for that, right? But it can go everywhere else, and it should. Okay, I relocated you to my workbench now, where I have the regulator and the motor. There's the motor. If you have a bad motor, substitute out your bad motor right here. These 3 bolts, Phillips screws, and that motor will come right off. You put the other one on. I'm not going to do it because it's calibrated up according to this regulator right there. So you would take a mental note of that, snap a picture, keep this regulator in the exact same position, and then put your motor on there, right? But what I recommend, you can buy the motor and the regulator already attached, and I think that's the better way to go. And you have it exactly like this. And then, you know, you have a brand new regulator, brand new motor, and it'll last you for the life of your vehicle. Okay, this is your regulator and your motor. Let's install this puppy. Get this thing back in. Do you remember how it goes? Maybe you can tell me. So you got to remember how this goes back on, right? Your new regulator and motor. Now, this part here, where my thumb is, that is immobilized by those two screws. One there, right? Now this motor part is immobilized by 4 bolts right there. Those 4 bolts go right here, 2 and 2. So it goes like that. It does not go like this. It goes like that, and it goes just like that. This goes up, snaps in there. 1 bolt in there. There's the other one. Now this motor goes up. Let's plug it in first so we don't forget. We wouldn't want to get this all put together and then not have it plugged in. So essentially we work backwards, just the way we took it off. Let's line this one here up first, so we get it up in there because you can see the best from that one. Okay, so that'll hold that for you. Right there. That's 2. When you get those 2 lined up, the other 2 are right there for you. Beautiful. Let's get those in. So we want to tighten these up the same tightness we found them. It's right about there. Just snug them up. Just like that. And just like that. There. Now we got that on. Now we know this is should be in the right position to access that bolt right there. Let's check it out. Now this slides this way, right? So that I can do that. Yes, I can get at it. So we know we've installed this correctly. Back the way we found it. Now we got to get the glass. Okay, let's put the glass in. Put it in the way we took it out. Just sort of like this. And don't drop it. Position your hands down here, sort of like that. And away we go. Make sure that fits in the channel right here, right over here. It's going in the channel there. And there, it's past the visor, glass visor. Now it's going down. You can see over here, you want to focus in there, it's right in the channel. That we lubricate it. Look at that. It's going down nice and slow into position. And it lines up right here. Perfect. Hold it right there. Find our bolts. Did you save those 10mm bolts? I hope so, because we need them to go back in here. I don't believe the new regular will have bolts, so you have to save the old ones. Now we have a game of operation. Remember the game of operation? You gotta sneak this in there without dropping it down in and losing it in your door. Leave this a little bit loose so you have that much play. Can you zoom in on that? So you have that much play to fine tune this up here, because this is the hard one. We're going in. Okay, so the danger for this one is that you get in here and you're fishing that in there and this bolt falls down inside your door and you can't find it. So that's the problem. That is about to happen. That's the problem. That's the complication that's about to happen. I've got a helpful hint for you. If you can take a piece of paper, this is paper towel or a piece of paper or anything, and if you do this and then put your bolt on there, that holds it a lot better, eh? That tightens it up. That will prevent a lot of aggravation because you won't be losing the bolt inside the door. Let's see if it works. So if you get down there, zoom right in there, and you can line that right up. So now with that piece of paper on there, you get a little bit of forgiveness if you're not perfect. And it's hard to be perfect. I'm not, that's for sure. So we're on there now. That takes a hard job, it makes it easy. I think what I'm going to do is make sure this is all the way over there. Because remember, I want my glass was coming out here a little bit, right about there. So I want this glass to be over that way as much as I can. There. So I've done that. Tighten that up there. Come out. My paper is still on there. Tighten this one up. There. And there. Okay, so now we're going to test it, because if there's something wrong, we did something wrong, we want to find out now while we still have access to everything so we can change it or fix it. So let's test this out. I think we've got everything on there. Oh yeah, look at that. Can you zoom in here? It no longer glitches out right here, and there's no longer a gap there. See, much smoother action. That's on right. So that little adjustment down here, where I slid this over, got the window over as far as I could, and I tightened that up, and that little 2 millimeters in there, that's the difference up here, where it was coming out a little bit and then going back in. So that's great. So I fixed my window. So now it looks like it's 100%. So hopefully that has fixed a lot of your problems. Now we're going to put this thing back together. Don't forget this one. This is a real easy guy to forget. Again, I want to emphasize, make sure those two cables are securely glued in there to prevent that noise, because that is annoying. And you have to take it all apart and glue those into position. Okay, so we got to make sure our plugs come out. Some plugs got to be on the right side of this to bring your plug out through your plastic. That's the one that needs to be out here because it plugs into the switch, and the rest are going to can stay inside the plastic. Your plastic panel goes on. Now we have to connect the wire first. Don't snap this on without connecting your speaker, your tweeter speaker right here. So pull that out at the bottom a little bit. There's a lip that tucks right in here on the door. tuck that down like that. So that will fit down here. You can tell by this corner right there, it's hard up against that rubber there, and this rubber is hard up there. You can use that as a guide. There's a little gap there, but we got that triangle piece that covers that. So then when you get the top in, you pull it on the bottom, get the top hanging in there. You lower this, and this should want to go right in there. All those push pins all the way around. There. And there's your panel piece stuck in there. Nice. We've got our plug right here. We got our switch. That goes in, there's only one way. There's the tab, there's the slots. That goes like that. It sits in here like this. Does it work? Beautiful. Slide that through there like that. Goes in there. Right back the way we found it. And the other one. I like to get that as tight as I can. There. Don't forget your small triangular piece. Goes right in there. Like that. And that's it. Snaps in just like that. Okay. Now we need to test this. Final test. Down and up. And like I always say, cleaning is the worst part of every job. We can shut the door on this one. Okay, well, we're coming to the end of the video now, guys and gals, and thanks for watching. I've had a lot of fun. We were able to tear that door apart, get inside that there. Now, I didn't really need to do my window. It was working 98%, but I was able to fix that last 2%, so that was kind of nice. The job is done. I'm done. So hopefully I helped you out with your window problems, window issues, your power windows. And if I did, maybe you can give me the thumbs up, leave some comments, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And that's it, guys. Not a lot of tools. You've got this. You can do this problem. Not a lot of tools, not a lot of products. It's easy. We can roll the window up on this one. See you in the next video.